Hello, everyone. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Thomas Jefferson? For me, I think of the impact Jefferson had on the founding of America and the building of the successful nation. However, there's much debate among historians regarding Jefferson's legacy. Some look at his authorship of the Declaration of Independence, or his work with the Louisiana Purchase, or one of his many other successes, and think of Jefferson as a founding father who helped shape this nation into what it is. But there are some who look at his complicated relationship with slavery and see him from a different perspective. There are sources that support both arguments. In Max Lerner's work, Thomas Jefferson, American Philosopher, King, Jefferson is viewed as basically a hero. However, in Francis Cagliano's work, Thomas Jefferson, Reputation and Legacy, some of the work is dedicated to Jefferson as a founding father and his success in that nature. But there's one specific chapter discussing his legacy in regards to slavery and the complicated relationship he had with it. Another work, Robert McCully's work, Slavery in Jeffersonian Virginia, shows Jefferson in a different light, and strictly in regards to his relationship with slavery. Now, Thomas Jefferson's legacy can be viewed in both a negative and positive light, depending on the focus of the research. Although it may be hard to view someone who did so much for this nation in a negative light, it is important to take a look at his relationship with slavery. Jefferson knew the judgment he would face over his relationship with slavery, and because of this, made multiple attempts in his writings to discuss how he felt trapped by a system he had inherited, and he felt like he could do little to change it. For example, in his original draft of the Declaration of Independence, he inserted a clause condemning the Atlantic slave trade and blaming George III for the support of it. When Congress removed that clause prior to adopting the Declaration, Jefferson circulated copies of his original draft to friends. He ensured also that this draft would find a larger audience by including it in his autobiography to be published after his death. Now, for years, many historians defended Jefferson and used his writings as evidence of his views against slavery. However, one of the first major works to question Jefferson's relationship to slavery was Robert McCully's work, Slavery in Jeffersonian Virginia. McCully showed Jefferson as a man who refused to act on his youthful anti-slavery sentiments, yet who continually spoke of his opposition to slavery while doing little to stop it at home. McCully points out that historians before him have always favored Jefferson and depicted him in a favorable light. For example, McCully notes that Jefferson was generally regarded as responsible for the exclusion of slavery in the Northwest, yet as president, he guaranteed Spanish and French slavery in Louisiana. A quote from McCully's work states, "Jefferson's reputation has indeed been fortunate, when one considers that he has been recognized universally as the father of exclusion in the Old Northwest, but has never been labeled as the father of slavery in Louisiana." I think this quote points strictly to the fact that McCully sees Jefferson as someone who, despite his successes, was never analyzed before McCully's work about his relationship to slavery and, in a way, the hypocritical nature it kind of produced. Now, Thomas Jefferson is without a question a founding father of this nation. However, due to the hypocritical views regarding slavery, some historians have been doubtful of Jefferson. It's my studied opinion that his relationship with slavery does not discredit the work he did to help build this nation. But it does leave questions in my mind regarding the way he handled slavery when he was so outspoken against it. Thanks for y'all's time. I look forward to your comments.